when the curtain dropped and everything kicked in, it's almost an overwhelming musical assault on your ears, and I like it. I mean, in the best possible way. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications and you're good to go. Today we're looking at a band that I have not done on the channel for a very long time, but I absolutely adored my first ever listen to them. They are Starset, and the song I looked at was Ricochet. It was a beautifully constructed song with an even more beautiful message and video, and the only reason I looked at them in the first place is because of the incredibly lovely Emmy. Emmy, thank you so much for pushing me to look at them, and ever since then I've had a lot of people, and two in particular on our Discord server. If you want to join that server, link is in the description. Jake and Renoa have been pushing me to look at another song, telling me that they're a much better live band than they are studio, as good as the studio stuff is, and I'm like, how is that even possible? So thank you all for nudging me. Thank you for being patient. We're finally here, and we're looking at Starset Manifest live. Let's see what you got.
Falling and falling away. This love is in retrograde. Falling and falling away. I can see the darkness.
Whoa. Wait, hang on a second. That was awesome. Okay, I'm going back because I have to. First of all, can we just talk about how awesome curtain drops are? One of my favorite ways to start a show. It's so cool. So much atmosphere being built up. There's a lot going on there, and I have to listen to it again because I didn't catch a lot of it, but I heard some incredible... well, first of all, let's start out with that really clear vocal. The sound and production on this, by the way, so far is amazing. We've got a long way to go in the song, but you can hear with certain things like the drums, the vocals, just how clear and well produced and well recorded this is. His vocals are awesome, nice and subtle, coming in, doing the build-up work. There is some synth in the back. When the curtain dropped and everything kicked in, it's almost an overwhelming... musical assault on your ears, and I like it. I mean, in the best possible way. There's so much going on there, but I see a lot of instruments, but I think some of them have certain tweaks and modulation and effects on, because I saw some violin being played and I heard something that sounded like it, but it sounded like a tweak. Drummer doing some awesome snare work there at the end. Really looks cool. The stage looks awesome. There's a bunch going on. Let's have another listen, and I'll do my best to catch as much as I can.
And far away, I can see the darkness.
Okay, so yes, so that is a cello, I believe, and I heard the violin. There's definitely something going on that's tweaking it a bit. It's not your traditional full-bodied, almost acoustic sounding violin. It will be electric because it will be plugged in, but I'm sure. But it sounds like there's something tweaked on it, because I can hear some wavering that I'm not used to hearing. I love the way that the drums, the guitar, and the bass are working together. There's this solidification of the notes being hit really crystal clear, and then stopping and leaving gaps so that that synth can work in between, and a lot of the other instrumentation there. Very smart, very cool. One more back to lead in, and I think I'm going to be a big fan of this.
Gravity pull on you, close enough to rendezvous. You come to me, and then you slip right through. I'm in the solitude.
Okay, so that's a little bit more traditional sounding. Either it was being blended in a lot, or maybe they've taken off some of the filter that was on it. It also could have been playing on some of the higher pitched strings of the bow. There's a lot of erratic movement, so that makes sense. That's cool. There's definitely like an electronic sounding violin, but a nice one, really warm as well. They have this ability to do something that is very intense, very full, and then strip it back, and there's this beautiful like resonance of what happened before, but there's an underlying energy, and then his vocals just sing on top. I think it's really smart. I think they're really smart, and like I said, I was already a fan. This is just extra golden stars.
Close enough to rendezvous. You come to me and then you slip right through. I'm in the solitude. Was it always touch and go? Now I never even know what it's like. Left me in the attic globes and falling through space and time. Starlight, starlight, capture missiles flying through the air tonight. And it's I think I'm getting used to the firefight. 'Cause you're falling and following. This love is in retrograde. Falling and following.
Okay. Wow. I have to. One more. I just have to. The way that they structure their build-ups, phenomenal. Normally bands only put that kind of energy into the intro. They don't always do it within a verse that leads into a pre-chorus, leads into a chorus, and it's all very, very, very smart. And is that guy in the background a ghost? Either way, when you hear that guitar kick in that's got quite a processed drive on it, it sounds a little bit digital, and you hear the violin with that drive on as well, and kind of the bow work along with chords mixing together. There's something so special about that. And you used to only hear that with lead work, with lead pieces. So you'd have like the Vanessa Mays of the world and like really, really intense, like amazing lead guitarists doing collabs. But I like when it's done in a rhythm section way that it does have a lead element to it, but it's so smart and simple. I like it.
Capture missiles flying through the air tonight. And it's I think I'm getting used to the firefight. 'Cause you're falling and following. This love is in retrograde. Falling and following. I kinda think you like this. Regress. Falling and following. There's something in the head we make. Falling and following. I can see the darkness. Manifest.
Nah, come on, man. Love the melodies in this. His voice is actually phenomenal live. I didn't know, because there's, when you listen to a band that's got a lot of affected sounds, a lot of modulation, a lot of processing, and again, not in a way that takes away from the music, in a way that adds to the music, you just don't know what they're going to be able to replicate live. You can, everything on the stage is here for a reason. Nothing is a gimmick. I can hear each one of these instruments. I can hear the violin, I can hear the cello, I can hear the guitars, I can hear the synth, I can hear the bass, I can hear the guitarist. The drummer is insane. Everything is a purpose, and it's not just shining in, a 10-second part of a highlight reel. It's actually continuous, and then it dips out in moments where it needs to create space for everything else. So if the music creates space and opens up, then something can push forward, and that's usually the vocals. I like it. There's a you'll hear a synth piece. This is a nice place to explain this. You'll hear a synth piece start to decay the minute it changes back into that kind of verse structure, but you are going to hear a percussive element external to the drumming. So it's that almost digital synth. It's like it's functioning as a click track, but it's got a more tonal value. It's not an actual harsh click like that, and it's quite consistent. Have a listen for how those two things take a lead role and blend everything else in behind it.
Every time I'm up to you, you shake it up, you always do. So tell me why you gotta bring your guns. It's Armageddon. This is always touch and go. Now we never even know what it's like.
Listen to those strings. Oh.
Till I'm falling through space and time. Stop.
No. Okay, so that's interesting because they're wearing these kind of outfits, right? And that's for the visual effect. And he's doing backing vocals, but he's got a cloth over his mouth. Now, if it's thin enough, it won't matter. But it's interesting to hear how clear that was.
'Cause you're falling far away. This love isn't retrograde. Falling far away. I kinda think you like this. Regrets falling far away.
That heavy bit there where you hear the drummer just speed up and you hear that growl come through. I love that he does that, because it's not a thing to say we're a heavy band, we're not a heavy band. Just do what fits the song. Do what's necessary. That was necessary. I like it. Okay, this bridge piece they're in now, you will hear you'll hear like what sounds like a strings piece being picked. I'm not sure what it is. Could be just a guitar picking it, but you're going to hear a lot of syncopation, but it's going to be off the beat. So it's not going to feel like it sits on the count, and it's actually not necessarily going to sit on the and either. It's going to sit somewhere in between, and it's meant to feel like it's either just ahead of the beat or just behind it. So it's either having to play catch up and kind of chase that rhythm, or it's having to slow down on the next beat and catch up again. And it's smart because when it hits in, you do notice it, but the overall effects of it is to still keep the tempo and time intact, and it does that very well.
Silver line, always was the optimist, but I never thought of this. Stuck in this state. Misaligned, trapped inside the looking glass. Tell me where will all this pass? Oh, how I hate the silver line. Never could taste your life. Never did the things with her. Hey, left behind. Never your state of mind. Never did the things with me. 'Cause you're fine.
I need a minute after that. Best place I could have gone back to, because this guy, absolute drum assassin, because he's killing every beat. He's not missed a damn thing, and the vocals are fire. Now, if you were to say to me, Chase, do you think they did a lot of cleaning up of this post? Yes, I do. Also, don't think that's a problem. And I don't think anyone else should have a problem with it either. If it was recorded live and you've got that genuine instrumentation there, it doesn't matter how much you clean it up. It's meant to be a sellable, listenable product. And as much as we want to replicate the live feel, we're not actually at the concert. So I do appreciate that it's been cleaned up and it's been... and not, when I say clean up, I'm not talking about like destroying the sound. I'm talking about making sure that, if things were clipping here and there and making sure certain volume levels are balanced and maybe changing a bit of EQ to create space to hear everything. I think it's awesome, man. It looks a very intense setup. I can see sampler over there on the side. I can see the mics that they're using. Everything has been mic'd up very closely, very delicately, and in a way, very directionally to make sure that there isn't as much bleed. And you know what? I'll say this again because it's important. Every instrument / piece of equipment on this stage is here for a reason.
'Cause you're falling and falling. This love isn't retrograde. Falling and falling.
What a melody.
Trying to think you like this. Falling and falling. There's something in your head we made. Falling and falling. I can see the darkness.
Yeah. Um, when you've played enough music and you hear certain things start moving and triggering in a certain way, I put my hand up because I knew exactly when there was going to stop. I knew it was going to stop harshly, and I knew exactly which beat it was going to stop. And I'm sure the haters will say this isn't the first listen. I can't be bothered. That was awesome. That was so cool. It's weird when you listen to a band, and I listened to Ricochet, and I thought, what a great song. And I spent a lot of time after that thinking about the song, just going, how'd they do that, or why'd they do that, or where do you think that came from? And I came to the conclusion that there are some people's minds just work in such a special way musically that you shouldn't try and understand it. Just appreciate it and be happy they're doing it. The worry is that when you listen to another song, you're going to be let down. And good God, I could not have been more wrong. It's actually part of the fear of sometimes doing another song straight away or soon after, and people go, why didn't you, if you liked it so much, why didn't you do another one? You're a bit scared sometimes. You don't want it to you don't want to lose the magic, and the magic is still very much intact. That was awesome. Fantastic show. What a live band, man. Amazing. I've now seen them do a video and I've seen them do live, and I'm a fan of both. They're incredible, and I'm grateful. So massive thanks again to Emmy, Jake, Renault. You guys killed it, man. Yeah, this is special. Anyway, I love that one, and I can tell you now, I am going to be creating a playlist. That is not even a discussion. You let me know which one to do next. And if you haven't heard them, and this is kind of one of your first listens along with me, feel free to go ahead. Go and listen to some songs, figure out what you like, and then let me know which one you want to enjoy together. So that's awesome. Yeah. Let me know what to do next. Super excited. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.